What's going on, guys? So today's video I want to talk about what's going on with Bungie and the possibility, or what may seem like is actually going to happen, is that Sony and PlayStation will absorb Bungie. Now, Bungie has a long history. They have some great games that, as far as people are concerned, Halo, Destiny, just to name a couple. You know their history if you're in the game, and what's been going on with the games that they have made, and also the turmoil that they've been going through. It seems as if this is another case of that struggle that Bungie has been going through, but this time is not like the other times. And what I mean by that is this time with Sony, and Sony's smart for this, and even though I still think what they paid for Bungie was well overpriced, and they didn't really get nothing back in return. So Sony was smart for this, because if they was gonna make such a purchase, it has to come with some, I guess, some rules or some circumstances that Bungie had to adhere to, or things that could possibly happen if Bungie was not profitable. So this is why I think we have here and what's been going on with Bungie and all the decisions that they have been making. And I want to state that none of this is the devs' fault. This is very much so the higher ups, the CEO of the companies, the presidents, and all of that, in administrative department. This is all their fault. So it would seem that Sony will be folding Bungie into PlayStation soon. When you see stuff like this happening, and it makes you question, or make you look back and say, why did Sony purchase Bungie? What was the benefit of it? They paid about 3.6 billion, for Bungie. Where, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I think they should have took a portion of that money instead of buying Bungie and acquired Arrowhead. Now, some people would say that Arrowhead didn't want to be acquired, but how do you know that before they made Helldivers 2, before all of that success? you know, and even during, who's to say that they didn't come to that decision later? They did have one situation where I think PlayStation and Sony, they kind of region locked the games to specific countries, so other countries couldn't play it. And I do recall someone at Bungie, not Bungie, I'm sorry, someone at Arrowhead mentioning that they didn't have no knowledge of that. They didn't know that PlayStation was doing that. So I kind of think that kind of put like bad blood in Arrowhead's mouth. It put a nasty taste in their mouth. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just giving what I believe, what caused a small rift as far as them being purchased by PlayStation. Another reason I say they possibly could have been acquired is the fact that they sold a percentage of their company to Tencent, for around roughly 80 million. And from what I've read, Arrowhead is valued at, I think, about 500 million. Could be more, could be a little less. Now you look at that compared to what PlayStation paid for Bungie, 3.6 billion. You know, and that's just not even, that's nowhere near half of what they paid for um, Bungie. Arrowhead valuation at 500 million is nowhere near that. Shoot, that 0.6 billion, that's still 100 more million more than what Arrowhead is valued at. So even if they was to pay 1 billion, I think it would have been a great investment. It's their most successful live service game. You could have locked the studio down and just worked on Helldivers, keep improving it, and maybe even hire some more staff to push out another game. Who knows what else they could have done, but and it's not to say that it couldn't ever happen. They could also buy more stake in the Arrowhead, or buy any stake if they don't have any. But that was just my looking at it. Is I think that money should have went towards a company like Arrowhead. They acquired new studios like A Haven Studios, and the other studio made Concord. Those are, I don't know how much they paid for those studios, but for me, I wouldn't have purchased a new studio that just came, just started off the bat. Like, I would not have made that move. I don't think that was a smart move on Sony's behalf. And then you have Helldivers, who's, that game is doing wonderful. I know they made 3 times, 4 times more than what it cost to make the game. So I think that would have been a better purchase for them as far as acquiring a company. And then they would have had a live service company under their belt that's tried and true, that's just is new. So they spent this 3.6 billion on Bungie, and they haven't really gotten nothing out of it. Like, Marathon is all but canceled, and any day now it could be canceled. Give it to the end of this year. If that game is not canceled, I don't know what's going to happen to it. It might keep getting pushed back until it is canceled. But I think it might get canceled. Just the fact of all the stuff that's been going on with it. I seen the game, the previews of it. To me, it don't look bad graphic wise, but it's not my cup of tea. I think it would have been a cool single player game with a little bit of multiplayer aspects and added into it just for the people who like multiplayer. But the number one, elephant in the room is that the artwork was said to be stolen, and it came out that it was. So with that, it's like, what can you reuse in that game? If that artwork, like, you base most of the game off of that artwork, and the style of the game is based off of that artwork, what can you reuse in that game unless you come to a decision, or not even decision, agreement, some contract with the original artist of the I guess the stolen art. If you come up with a contract, then yeah, I could see them using a lot of the things that was used in the artwork. But other than that, I don't see them being able to use that artwork, and then revamp the game. So I think it will eventually get canceled. What's going on with Destiny? Nobody knows. Will it be another one? I really don't care for it. I played it. It's not my thing. It's not my cup of tea. I think they need something new, something fresh. Maybe try a single player game. That's what I like. I think PlayStation is known for that. Maybe they might want to stick with doing multiplayers, or live service games, because Bungie does have experience with that. So I can't necessarily say they should just jump and do something else. That's like a studio like Insomniac doing live service, where their expertise right now is the single player game and what they're doing with in a lot of PlayStation first party games. So I can't necessarily say that they should do it. I mean, I think it would be cool if they tried it, but they should stick to what they know at the end of the day and see what they can come out of. But I don't know if Destiny can make a comeback and gather fans. I think they have a following, so that should help. But I don't know what more can they do. Especially they got this marathon game now, so that might throw a little wrench in the socket. But yeah, PlayStation is set to take over Bungie. It's been some sales issues, some things going on, and I don't know why they would agree to pay that much and allow them to be independent. So I guess this is just a fruit of that labor. So all we can do is see what happens going forward. But it is said that they will be absorbed into PlayStation Studios soon. And let's see what comes from this. Maybe PlayStation will get rid of the problems there. I believe they will. All the upper heads, the administrative body have been thorn in Bungie's butt, especially with the devs. So can't blame the devs for this. They only work there. They don't make the decisions. So yeah, maybe Sony will get rid of them and then reshuffle everything, and then let's see what comes from it. So I can't wait to see. This should have been happened, and actually they shouldn't have made the purchase. That's what I believe. That's just my opinion. But yeah, so I'm not gonna make this video too long. Other than that, like, subscribe, comment what you think is gonna happen in the future with Bungie. Are they gonna make another Destiny, or are they gonna try something different under PlayStation's umbrella? So all we can do is wait and see. But until then, I'm out.